I couldn't keep it in my head. I told to Dixon, I can name so many people I told, you know, and all of you, all the NISAC people, they are asking, Bishop Adi says he's feeling alone. He's feeling lonely. You guys, up to now, you've not read these guys, you've not read them. He's feeling lonely. Who else is feeling lonely? I'm very happy those who refused to admit that they're lonely. Stand your ground, because it's too much. Show that you are men and fight back. Nothing will happen to you all. Dag has no power. He has no power to heal. He has no power to curse. Nothing. The anointing.
I go by the name Flamboyant Lifestyle. If not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. And don't forget to on your notification bell so that anytime I upload a video, you'll be the first person to watch. The year started, and the year started bad for Bishop Darkwood Mills. And it's very mind-busting.
But I came out of that, but Dag never trusted me afterwards. The next thing was that there was this sexual scandal, big one, you know, and I was not a partaker in the sex, but it was my close friend's wife who had been bumped. My close friend who's a bishop, his wife had been bumped by a senior bishop, you know, for a decade. And yeah, and I say it's a fact, it happened. And Dag claimed that me, Kapos, I'm the one who caused this information to go out and was now persecuting me as if I went to have the sex, you know. And instead of Dag knowing that me, I would have given my life to him for anything all the time. And this particular intergalactic scandal was so scary that if you ask me once, have you told anybody? And I say no. You claim you're a father. Will your children not tell lies to you when they're afraid? Of course, I told people. I couldn't keep it in my head. I told to Dixon, I can name so many people I told, you know, and all of you, all the NISAC people, they are asking, Bishop Adi says he's feeling alone. He's feeling lonely. You guys, up to now, you've not read these guys, you've not read them. He's feeling lonely. Who else is feeling lonely? I'm very happy those who refused to admit that they're lonely. Stand your ground, because it's too much. Show that you are men and fight back. Nothing will happen to you all. Dag has no power. He has no power to heal. He has no power to curse. Nothing. The anointing he claims is on his life. It's all a charade. You see, psychologically, he's caused us to believe in him. So everything which happens, we attribute them to him. Hello, it's me once again. And today I was just thinking that since time has elapsed, it's almost 3 years. And some of you just got on board. People be wondering, what's this big deal about the day December 8th? And what's all these things we hear about Maldives? Is it the code name of a place or what? Well, it's the Maldives right in the Indian Ocean. The Maldives, you know, the one you see on CNN. Beautiful place. White beaches. Turquoise. 5-star hotels and all that. Yes, in 2022, all the bishops of the UD were gathered all over the world, and we moved to Maldives to go and have a meeting with our founder, who was going to put across the vision of fishing and fusion and all those kind of things, and how both makes the church great. Those details, those who went there know, and it won't help this discussion. But then the fallout for me at that meeting was I was dismissed. I was dismissed without trial. I was dismissed without warning. I was summarily dismissed, you know. And one may ask, did I steal? What did I do wrong? And the interesting thing is that of almost 150 bishops who were there, and all were in agreement and voted for my dismissal. Most of them did not know or did not understand anything which was going on. It was what you call herd mentality. You look at where the shepherd is pointing, that's the Heward Mills. You look at where some of the bigger goats are running to, and you just follow them. And that's exactly what happened. But there was a background to that crazy day, December 8th. And well, I look back because it's also a day of liberation. But it had to be that painful, it had to be that traumatic for me to wake up from my hypnotic stupor, which still most of them are in. It's quite interesting that 3 years after December 8th, most of those bishops have been terminated. They are now doing what they've been deceived to call self-support, meaning that they are working, but they are not being paid. So, unlike me, who was unlawfully and wrongfully dismissed and given a package, I was given a car, the Chevrolet Tahoe, which later on they took me to the police and accused me of stealing. And I was given a tidy sum of money, which those who voted for me to be kicked out did not get. So what happened on December 8th? What happened on that day? You know, I'll just go back a bit for you to know where I was standing with Heward Mills before sitting at that meeting. Because you can be at a meeting, there are so many background things which informs the decision of the people. So 2 people who misled the whole house on that day is Heward Mills, well, with the help of Marcel Abuaji and Steve Asari. They deceived the whole house. The interesting thing is that there were not less than 10 people there who knew the truth. But there was nothing they could do. Prince Adai knew the truth. Randy Mills Thompson knew the truth. Even Marcel, who lied against me, knew the truth. My late brother, the Archbishop, knew the truth. Atu Dixon knew the truth. But the truth did not matter. That's what I came to realize later. That loyalty is stronger than the truth. And Jesus is the truth personified. So if loyalty is about him, then loyalty is something which is antichrist. That's what led to my first burning of Doug's books. I'm going to put it up on the screen. You will see it below burning. This is not the first time I've burned the books. This December 8th is actually going to be the 3rd time that I'm going to burn these books. You know. So what happened next? Doug Heward knows for some time I've been picking up on me because of a couple of things that he felt I was doing wrong. One was my relationship with Steve Mensah, not the same Steve Mensah. This is Steve Mensah, who was the chief of his security and was the personal assistant to the project managers, Alice Obaka. For some reason, Doug fired him. He claimed that there was nothing to do. He should go home. There's 2 years salary. That was just before COVID came, you know. And it was quite disturbing because we've come to serve. Our plan was not for us to be sent home. So he wasn't happy. So he left the church. But being like a close brother to me, I went against the teachings of loyalty and continued to relate with him. I did not break up communication with him. So Doug found out one day, and foolish me, at that time I thought Doug was, I'm sure his white skin and all those things made me feel that he's nearer to God. I actually used to believe that the Spirit of God was so heavily upon him that if I lied to him, he will know. Otherwise, I would have just lied. And I want to advise all those who are with him that when he comes attacking, just lie to him. He will not know. He can't know. He's not a prophet. You know, they see anything, you know. So you can just lie to him. But I didn't know. So he said, Kapos, are you still in touch with Steve? I said, yes. Hey, that became a big problem for me. And after shaming me publicly, warning me excessively, getting the General Executive Council to interrogate me like a criminal, my phones were searched. Larry, it's because of you people. There was serious panic mode, you know. But I came out of that, but Dag never trusted me afterwards. The next thing was that there was this sexual scandal, big one, you know, and I was not a partaker in the sex, but it was my close friend's wife who had been bumped. My close friend who's a bishop, his wife had been bumped by a senior bishop, you know, for a decade. And yeah, and I say this a fact, it happened. And Dag claimed that me, Kapos, I'm the one who caused this information to go out and was now persecuting me as if I went to have the sex, you know. And instead of Dag knowing that me, I would have given my life to him for anything all the time. And this particular intergalactic scandal was so scary that if you ask me once, have you told anybody? And I say no. You claim you're a father. Will your children not tell lies to you when they're afraid? Of course, I told people. I couldn't keep it in my head. I told Atu Dixon. I can name so many people I told. Samuel Bedu, all those people. And then they also knew. It's not like I went to inform them. They also knew. They all had their sources. This thing was all over the place. And all the comedies we were having there. You know? When one woman slapped one man, I wasn't there, but we heard it. I don't know if it's true. If it's true, that means it leaked. If it's not true, fine. It's a rumor. I didn't know. You know? So, Dag, you branded me a liar. And that's your secretary, Vesta. She had the nerve to call me a froward person. Who is more froward than Vesta? Look into the things well. Was she not even heard? It's rumored that she was heard on that recording with that guy talking about it. I don't know how she got out of that. It's rumored. It's alleged. I don't know. You see, but you dare to come and call me froward. I remember her calling me froward on December 7th. You know, and I said, you, Vesta, who have you not spoken to? Who are your friends? Who are your close friends? Don't you have close friends who are not in Lighth0use? Don't you have close friends who don't like the ministry of Heward Mills? How can you, a loyal person, have close friends who are not in support of this ministry and you dare call me forward? I knew that at that time, but I said nothing because I wasn't liberated. Now you can't do anything to me, you know? Fine. So Dad called me a liar over Steve, over this sex scandal. And then to make it worse, he came to Rwanda in September of 2022, where I'd given my best in the most impossible place to do the impossible. Only for Lavelankra, I hear is no longer a bishop now. You made him a bishop instead of sitting down to look into why Lavelankra attacked the vice mayor of the town he was having a crusade in. And when we were telling you the truth, you and the foolish people around you had the nerve to say that me, Kapos, I'm against. Why should I be against Lavelle? I'm the one who tapped him. I said, Lavelle should come. I'd like to work with you. His wife and 3 children are back home in Ghana. Why would I be against him? He was already in prison. They were going to lock him for 3.5 years. I did what I had to do. I defied your misinformed instructions. And that's what you could not stand. And the people at Maldives, they didn't know all that. And I got Lavelle out. It wasn't Marcel. Marcel knows it. Marcel flew in from Central African Republic the night before Lavelle was released. He couldn't do anything. We just had a good time in Kigali. We visited the Genocide Memorial. We went to Chinese restaurants. And we talked. Me and him, we gossiped. One of the things he said is that we really need to pray for our daddy. He said he can't tell me, but we must pray for our daddy, you know. And I remember one night when Kwekwana broke a story on Ghana News. He's the one I went to call. It was about this adultery issue. What should we do? He said, let's call Big Bro. And I called Bishop Prince. and they killed it. That's how fast I am when it comes to propaganda and all those kind of things. You don't know your valuable soldiers. Anyway, so going to Maldives would cost my little church in Nsawam so much we couldn't pay. I told that impish guy, Steve Asari, that we can't pay. So please help me buy the ticket, which all the other bishops' conveners were doing for the bishops who had low income. Not low income because they don't work, it's because that's the way the place is. How can the people in Nsawam contribute for me to go to Maldives? You know, so just buy the ticket, you won't buy. Then you have the nerve to call me in the night to ask me stupid questions like, why have I paid my salary? What do you mean by that? So I'm very happy I was rude to you. And guys, listen, yes, I was rude to Steve Asari because at the age of 51, he cannot call me after 9:30 p.m. in the night and just speak to me as if I'm his houseboy simply because I said I want to work for the Lord and ask me why I paid my own salary. I mean, what kind of nonsense is that? I gave to him and I did not ask for forgiveness. I knew it would come up in all this. So they sat down and hatched a plan for me. Thursday after lunch, that session is for couples. I could feel it. I could feel it. I told my friend Napo, distance yourself from me, Napo, from now on. Because what is coming is not good. Since then, I've never heard from Napo anymore. Go and chase him. So, what happened next? They started asking questions. What have you learned from the place you've come? I said, well, I've learned that I'm not supposed to tell lies. They say no. I say, I met with Bishop. Bishop told me. And as he was preaching, he kept on talking, looking my direction. So that's what I feel I got. They say no about income, attendance, you have to have 1,000 members, blah, 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 blah. Then Steve Asari got up. Said that's how he doesn't have enough money to buy his ticket. And when we were trying to help him, he was rude. He said I should never talk about his salary again. Then Klufio jumped up. And said that's what R0cks also said. He should no longer be a bishop. And Klufio, you had the nerve to WhatsApp me to tell me you didn't say that. You said that. I remember. I have a good memory. And then we had what's his name? Robert Dodu. Grown ass man. He stood up like a baboon. I don't know why they rather call other people orangutan, but he's the greatest baboon amongst the lot. Thumping his chest. It's only baboons that thump their chest when they are on heat. Couples should be sacked. One by one. Everybody. Even Pius. Pius, remember you told me you came to Kudesh, the problems you are facing in Kudesh. I hope you don't want us to discuss that one here. And I hope you have a hold over it. You know, now that you've also been turned into a movie star, deal with that problem. Pius had the nerve to stand up and recommend that I should be sacked. I said, wow, you Pius. Okay. And finally, there was only one voice of reason. And that's the voice of Kakabedin. And I thank God they didn't listen to him. Even though it was the only voice of sanity in the room, it would have kept me in bondage. It would have kept me in bondage. He stood up and said, look, we all know couples. I've been with these idiots for 27 years. Full time, 16 years. Lived in the homes of many of them as I've gone around working with them on crusades. Related with many of them. Done good for as many as I've also gone to meet wherever they are. Near Adams. He had lower back pain at that time. I hope your lower back pain is gone. Because I know one of the main sicknesses of people who have sex in their cars is lower back pain. Because to sit and to thrust, the forces resolve around your lower back and it brings a lot of pain. I'm not saying that's what you do, but I'm saying it's a major thing, so look at it. Anyway, All these people, nobody knew me as a good person. I'm a bad person, I'm rude. So Kaka said that we've known Kapos for all this time, and I'm not supporting his being rude to Steve, but why don't we just suspend him or something? I really appreciated you, Kaka, when you said that. But my lack of knowledge, I didn't know that you were about to increase my present sentence. You know, so God being so good, what Kaka said was like, you know, when God spoke from heaven that I've glorified him and I'll glorify him again. Even though the voice came from the people, some heard thunder, others heard other things. And that day when Kaka spoke, it was like thunder to them. They didn't hear. So at the end of the day, Dad came in and accused me of Rwanda. That's the point where I stood up and I pointed to him and I said, what you are saying is not true. In other words, you're a liar. And Marcel noticed that, no, this guy has shifted into his crazy mode. Marcel was with us 12 years ago. That's 2010 in Damongo. When I flipped, I was being abused like that after a bad crusade in Damongo. And at the point I flipped, I jumped up and I told Dad, you can't say that to us. You can't. We've left our all. We've come to stay in this God-forsaken place in the middle of nowhere. You can't say we are not looking after things well. Neither can you say we are not doing the work. The meeting ended at once. I considered resigning then, but Bishop Saki talked me back into working. I don't even know why I listened, but fine, I did. That was in 2010. So Marcel had seen that before. So when he saw me go into that mode, he knew that now the guy had had enough and his back is against the wall. So he jumped in and lied. You see, his lie was so heavy that it deflated me at once. I said, wow, Marcel. He said that Kapos was so against us that when I went there, we could not have any meaningful discussion on Lighth0use issue. I said, wow, what a shock. Joe J was in Maldives at that meeting. And Joe J, I believe, was shocked. You should go and ask him. At that moment, I said, game over. It's time for me to press the eject button. I'm out of Lighth0use. I've had enough. I will no longer take any abuse anymore. I didn't say that to them. I was just quiet. So we had a break. And then during the break, I called my wife. I told her, this is the case. It means I'm out of this place. She said I shouldn't worry. She's praying for me, but we'll go. I had a full support. So, after dinner, if I remember clearly, we reassembled and they called the various groups to come out with their verdicts. You know, the various councils had sat down and they've used the book, The Art of Shepherd in chapter 6 to come out with the stupid decision to dismiss me. Without a hearing, without anything. Oh, I said, wow, I just listened to them. They all pronounced, they got my brother to chair this dismissal and they pronounced everything. Then Big Daddy, God bless him, God bless his memory, Archbishop said, okay, Kapos, what do you have to say? Then I said, first of all, I want to thank Bishop, because I don't know what he saw in me, and he made me a bishop. I don't know if I've disappointed him. I want to apologize. I'm sorry if I've let him down. Now, to the remaining councils, that's those of you who have found me guilty, I want you to know that I'm at peace with your decision. I said, okay. So then one lady, I think it was Richard Aye's wife, lifted her hand and said that they have to let me go out of the hall because now I'm not part of them. I cannot be privy to their discussions. I say, wow, look at her. Look at this woman. The wife of a very wicked man. You see, what you fail to see is that I had enough information in my head to light up the whole UD. It's not that added. And that thing I hold against you, and you hear from me, definitely. You hear from me on that one. Because at that day, everybody who spoke, I remember you very well and your actions. Anyway, so I walked out. But I was proud of myself as I walked out. I said, these guys, you will see. December 8th, we will remember it. I'm the last person you people will abuse like that and go scot-free. I'm the last person. You'll think twice again if you try to do any such thing, you know. And 3 years we've been running this marathon. I'm not stopping now. I want to make this pledge that I won't stop now. I'm rebuilding my life. I'm in the process of rebuilding my life. I have another life apart from this thing that you see. So for all those who are always know much more than me and are trying to say some things, and especially the ones I don't understand are those who this thing does not affect. If I criticize the teachings and the writings of that Heward Mills, how does it affect you? It only enlightens people and it only comforts people. And look, I've touched the lives, I've had testimonies, I've seen people, I've met people of thousands. So you can't just come and tell me stop what you are doing. It's actually very foolish to suggest that to me. Let me say that in advance. So when you meet me, don't just keep it in your mind. I restrain myself greatly anytime somebody says, stop what you are doing. You are destroying yourself. I'm destroying who? Do you know what is being destroyed? Anyway, so, I mean, there's a little rundown on how this whole December 8th issue thing came around, you know. And the next day, on December 9th, in the night, they came to call me because they realized that they've done something legally wrong. I wasn't given an opportunity to talk back. So there was a panel of about 15 or 16 senior bishops, and they formed a U-shaped panel with a red chair. They were coming to intimidate me. They didn't know that the man is now a different guy. I was dead and have been resurrected, you know, dead and resurrected. So I cannot be killed again. So there's no fear of death. I sat down in that chair, looked them in the eye, and told them my peace of mind. The first bullet went to Nia Jedu, who asked me a very stupid question. Asked me if I've informed my wife about it, and asked me what is the means by which I informed my wife. I told him the same means by which you also communicate with your wife. What a stupid question. Isn't it by phone? Whether it was a video call, it's a WhatsApp message or whatever, does it really matter? That's what you are thinking about. I'm happy you have been banished at your age. Old man like you, they can insult you in front of your daughter in Bishop's office simply because you went to say that somebody who's has resigned, what's the word? Come to me. It's a great escape. It's a great escape. The person has had a great escape. It's had a great escape. Because of that, you've been punished. You, Nia Jedu, you bought the first printer, the type, whatever, printing press to print the books. That can still punish you. And you are still there like a little boy. You, a whole manager who came from overseeing mines in Zimbabwe, you came to sit in this place for this Obroni. It's because of his white skin. For this Obroni to insult you, you were sitting in the reception crying. What else are you looking for? What affirmation are you looking for? You know, and all of you, all the NISAC people, they are asking. Bishop Adi says he's feeling alone. He's feeling lonely. You guys, up to now, you've not read these guys. You've not read them. He's feeling lonely. Who else is feeling lonely? I'm very happy those who refused to admit that they're lonely. Stand your ground, because it's too much. Show that you are men and fight back. Nothing will happen to you. Dag has no power. He has no power to heal. He has no power to curse. Nothing. The anointing he claims is on his life. It's all a charade. You see, psychologically, he's caused us to believe in him. So everything which happens, we attribute them to him. But there's a scripture in the Bible which tells us that God, he allows his rain to fall on both the righteous and the unrighteous. So good happens to everybody. But you attribute it to him. And even at times you attribute bad to him. Hey, because I spoke against him, because I even thought, because I started to even do some critical thinking. That's why things are not going well. Please, life happens to everybody. And there are times when things don't go well. You know, so it's not him. He did nothing. He can't even control his own life. He's just a smart guy. You know, and I can see that you're in your 60s now. So because of that, you know that you don't have much time. You don't know when you can die. So because of that, you need to go for a fresh group of young people. That's why you reinstated Bishop E.A.T. Saki. Because the two of you are the best psychological pair. When you give your psychological whatever, the Saki comes to reinforce it. I've been seeing it. I've been watching you people. It comes to reinforce it. It's all just sheer wickedness. Everything people are doing their psychology is not theology. And the theologists in Trinity College will attest to that. It's not theology. And the one who has perfected this, your psychology the most, is Richard I, who's created all those, destroyed the minds of people like Jerry Nantongma and all those people. All of them, they can't function. After leaving your chartered accountancy profession and going as far as Vanuatu. You people, you know where Vanuatu is. You get into a fight with Chris, and because Richard is with Chris, they kick you to Ghana, and you've been wandering there up till now. Bishop Nukrayenye will be here. You've not even made you a bishop. What sort of injustice is this? Charlie, brother, you are 55. You don't have much time. Sit down behind your book, start doing your accounting again and move on. And stop that nonsense over there. Because even now, they say that people cry self-support. You to the self-support, I'm sure they pushed you into it. I've just deviated totally from this December 8th thing. But for me, as terrible as it was, it's a blessing to me. It should have traumatized me greatly, but God being so good, it's not traumatized me, it's rather energized me. And I have the energy, you know. Next year will be more spectacular. I need to take down certain books. Those who are mad.
The man has spoken. Whether it's true or it's not true, but the man has really given us what has really happened. You can also share your comments under the comment section. Anything that you really want to say, feel free and say it. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that anytime I drop a video, you'll be the first person to watch. Thank you very much for watching this video. And I'll see you another time.